Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ. That's JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
In a world parched for excitement, one drink will emerge. Twisted Tea, the refreshing thrill ride of flavor. Recreating its classic role as the hard iced tea that goes down smooth. Twisted Tea doesn't just taste like real iced tea, it's made with real brewed tea and a 5% kick of alcohol. Taste the adventure with Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The Afternoon Underdogs.
Ryan Mathis has got Wherever I May Roam.
Metallica, yeah, but it says off of Metallica. I mean, like, I don't want to, here it comes.
I've been trying to. I've had too many guests all today to let them out of the cage.
Man, like, it's just too much. If you're a Metallica fan and like, if you consider yourself a Metallica fan, I don't think you should name that album.
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. The remainder of the day, a mixture of light sprinkles and mostly sunshine and a temperature of 88 with wind 10 to 15 miles per hour out of the south-southeast. Partly cloudy skies and light sprinkles tonight and warm near 75. Partly sunny in the morning but otherwise likely thunderstorms and 84 tomorrow. 85 and a chance of thunderstorms and light showers Thursday. This is your Tuesday's weather brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Tired of flipping through channels and finding nothing good? Introducing Scorpion TV. Over 5,000 live streaming channels. Catch every game of the season with over 100 sports networks, including ESPN, ESPN Plus, the NFL Network, and Red Zone. Even pay-per-view events. Watch 400 local network channels from Panama City and most markets throughout the country. Fox, ABC, CBS, and NBC. It's more than sports. Scorpion TV offers premium movie channels like HBO, Cinemax, Stars, 200 plus entertainment and news networks, or watch thousands of movies on demand, all for just $45 a month when you use the ESPN NW promo code at checkout. Watch on up to 5 devices at the same time. Perfect for sharing with family and friends. Scorpion TV gives you everything you want for less. Cut the cord, not the fun. To score Scorpion TV, go to ESPNPC.com and click on the Scorpion TV logo. Don't forget our promo code ESPN NW.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now to learn more.
800-605-4650. 800-605-4650. 800-605-4650. That's 800-605-4650.
WGSX Lynn Haven WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
And that's out of the ballpark.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
You found us inside the CBC Construction Studios.
Are you ready?
Okay, let's begin.
Trip. The Afternoon Underdog Trip. Live and local. Inside the Talk House.
Unleash the dragon.
On the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Keep making noise. Keep making noise.
What's going on, Northwest Florida, Panama City? How are we doing? We're live and local from the CBC Construction Studios. I'm David Hayes, along with Chef Ross and Caveman Rick. And we might have an appearance from Tyler Bishop this afternoon. Haven't talked to him today, actually, matter of fact, now that I think about it. So maybe he doesn't even know what is going on, or maybe he is listening right now. He just went on a cruise. So
yeah, I hope he got off the boat.
Yeah, I think he did. I think he did get off of the boat, but not entirely sure. So we'll find out. We'll leave that to be determined.
Maybe he got off the boat. Maybe he's getting held up by customs.
It wasn't a 3-hour cruise, was it?
No, it was a little bit longer. He's actually walking up right now, so he did not hear any of our antics that we were bringing towards the table. Now, it is an interesting day here in the CBC Construction Studios, brought to you by CBC Construction. You can call them at 850-747-3815 or visit their website at cbcconstruction.com. We've actually got the PBA, the Pro Bowling Association, on here in the studio as we're just looking for something to watch this afternoon. We've gotten a little bit spoiled here with March Madness turning into, different golf tournaments, early baseball days, then the college softball tournament, then the college baseball tournament, and now we're just sitting here at a standstill. So bowling is on here in the studio. Tyler makes a great face pertaining to that. But the Braves are back in action tonight. They're going to be taking on the Diamondbacks. Coverage starts at 6 o'clock for a 6:15 first pitch. Zach Gallen going for the D-backs. He's 3-7, ERA of 5.53, whip sitting at 1.4, and he's got 66 strikeouts going up against Spencer Strider, who's, it says 0-3 right here, but I don't think he's even has he had 3 starts?
Yeah.
Maybe he's had his third start, yeah. He had the one.
He plugged Harper the last time.
That was his. Yeah.
It wasn't on purpose.
He should have got a win just for that. He should be 1-2 for plunking that.
Man, he should be batting and not have a DH, and that way we can plunk.
Oh, yeah, we'll just make if your name is Spencer Strider, that's exactly what we're going to do. How about you tell Bryce Harper to start looking like Barry Bonds up there at the plate? I know we all know that's what you want.
Man, that's weak. He shouldn't be wearing the armor. I mean, like, maybe now if he's getting banged up and he's going to miss.
You say it every time you see him up to bat, like, come on, man, where's your armor at, Bryce?
Yeah, I hear you. It's like, yeah, I get why people probably want to throw at him,
Yeah.
Well, I think there's something to be said.
You think Spencer threw at him on purpose?
No, but I mean, like throwing inside though, yeah. Like,
yeah, of course. That's baseball.
On purpose,
of course.
But you got to have better control than that, Spencer.
So the plate does have an inside corner and an outside corner.
And then maybe your balance up there on the mound would be a little bit better. He's plunking like all stars. He's just jealous.
Well, Spencer Strider, 0-3, ERA 4.5, whip sitting at 1.29, and 15 strikeouts. Only had 3 starts. This will be his 4th start. So we'll see how it plays out tonight for the Atlanta Braves. Hopefully they can take care of business. I haven't lost all faith yet, but it is it is hard when you're losing series after series. But I'm not going to overreact, and we're just going to take it day by day. Our call-in question of the day, which you could text in the answer that you want it to be. The Red 70s phone line number is 850-215-6290. Go check out Red 70s website. They are the brand that brands you. Go to red70s.com. All right. What do we got coming up June 14th?
We have Pop's Pig Pickin' Barbecue over at the Break Room.
That is the 4th annual. All proceeds going to help out Chef Ross in his hurricane relief efforts. Dinner tickets are $20. Pool tournament 1 p.m. Is $15. All of this in honor of Chef Ross's dad, Ron Pops Robinson. And the call-in question, text-in question today has to do with what Chef Ross picked up this afternoon, which tell the people what you picked up and what you're getting ready for at the 4th annual Pops Pig Pickin' Barbecue.
I got the pig, so we are doing a whole pig roast at the barbecue. Now, what I need your help with is we need to name this pig that I'm about to cook on
Name
June
that
14th.
pig! So that's what we're playing today.
We're playing Name That Pig.
Yeah, we were going to try to whittle it down to 4 names if we got enough comments. We only got 10 comments. Some of those were just trash talking back and forth in the comment section. So I think we've got 4 or 5 names. And instead of voting, we'll just pick whatever our best name is. In the final segment of today's show, we'll pick out what the best name is. Adam Goff will read off the comments to this point. Again, Red 70's phone line. Text him what we should name the hog that we're going to be eating on June 14th at the 4th annual Pops Pig Pickin' Barbecue, which you cannot smoke a whole hog and not name it. That's just part of the
Exactly.
ritual. And the fact that you didn't raise this pig and that we didn't get attached to it really bothers me.
I did talk to James. I was trying to get one of his pigs.
Yeah, there you go. We could have had some sentimental value there as well to really help the tears fall.
Could have had his whole life story and like a PowerPoint playing in the background.
This is Walter. He was born on this date in 2023. He's 2 years old. He liked milk up until about his 6-month growth spurt, where he grew from 120 pounds to 435 pounds. Welcome to the 4th annual Pop's Pig Pick and Barbecue. Who wants to take the first slice out of Wilbur's head? Oh, and then you, instead of like leaving the head on the smoker or whatever, just leave it right above the little shrine that you have built up for him inside of the break room.
Do one of those Halloween decorations, like the headstone.
Put his head, oh yeah, have the headstone. No doubt that would be great. But then also
pig to be named later.
have one of those like not animatronic, but you know, it moves like you see at the Spirit Halloween stores or whatever.
The motion sensor.
Yeah, exactly. And then just put the pig head onto whatever element that it is, and you know, you got the dancing pig doing a jig whenever you're over there eating pig at the Pop's Pig Pickin' Barbecue. 850-215-6290. Before we start reading off some of these comments and giving our thoughts on it, we're going to go to the phone line, the Red 17s phone line. Jack Patterson, you're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. What's going on, bud?
What's up, man?
Not a whole lot. What you calling for?
Doing good. Just wanted to call in, but give a name for the question.
Yeah, what you got?
Smokey the Pig.
Smokey the Pig. Jack Patterson coming with Smokey the Pig. Hey, we'll take it, and we will see you this Friday, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir. We're going to be talking about Jack's latest wrestling event that's going to be going on this, or not this Saturday, but this Saturday, June 7th. So, Jack, tell us a little bit about that before we let you go.
Yeah, it's a benefit to help Chase Hansen. He had a heart attack, and he had a major heart attack, and his family's really struggling right now for his financial expenses.
All right, so yeah, we'll be talking more about that this coming Friday. Hey, Jack, thanks so much for the call, and Smokey the Pig has been entered in.
Hey, Jack, is anyone going through a table this weekend?
Huh?
Is anyone going to be going through a table this weekend?
I don't know. Never know.
We got to show up and find out.
We got a big Royal Rumble match.
Ooh.
At the end, main event.
I think David Hayes is going to win this Royal Rumble match.
Hey, Jack, we'll see you soon, and thanks for the call. Have a great day, brother.
Well, thanks, man.
All right. We'll get right back to some of the other comments and texts coming in. 850-215-6290. Smokey the Pig is on top of the leaderboard.
Real quick, guys, show up to the Possum Palace this weekend. Jack puts on amazing shows every time.
So you know that it is at the Possum Palace?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I was like, don't be sending people to places we don't know where they're going.
That's what the radio commercials are saying, at least.
Okay. All right. Yes, it is. Oh, that's right. That's one of my favorite lines in all of the commercials that we put together, and I believe Bone Crusher came up with this. But we'll save you a seat, but you only need the edge.
No, we'll sell you the whole seat.
Oh yeah, we'll sell you this whole seat. There you go. That's one of my favorite lines. Good stuff right there. So Possum Palace this Saturday. Then the next Saturday, we're going to see you over there at the break room. Absolutely. All right, name that hog. Let's see. Adam Goff says, name the pig. I'd call it Big Ten because that conference gets smoked all the time. Do you have any response to that?
Except if I look at recent history, the last 2 national championships happen to come from the Big Ten.
There you go. Now, we do have to realize and remember here that Adam Goff is a fan of Louisville, so he's not parading or ponying around for the SEC, but for the ACC, which we took over the last 25 years. If you look at football, baseball, softball, men and women's basketball, and men and women's soccer, the SEC leads across the board in terms of championships at 38. Right behind them, what conference do you think it is? Just take a guess. There's not that many you can choose from.
I'm assuming it's got to be the ACC if you're asking.
Yeah, I am asking. It's the ACC at 37. 23 of those come from men and women's soccer. So that's, hey, that's it is what it is. But so I was actually surprised to see how much more dominant the ACC was, more than the other conferences. Then you actually have the Big 12 and the Pac-12 tied at 17 titles across the board. A lot of that helps with Oklahoma and their titles in the world of softball. None of these are including the 2025 titles either. So it's not Ohio State for the Big 10, which I haven't revealed their number yet. Actually, you know who's in third place? It's not.
Is it the Big 12?
No, it's all other conferences combined. They've got 23 titles.
It's the Group 5.
A lot of that helps with Villanova and UConn in basketball. Then you look at the smaller sports like that as well. I believe I believe I even saw somewhere, and I had to get away from this source, but UCF or the American Athletic was accredited a football championship in 2017. I don't even think. Wait, was UCF playing in the AAC at that point? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh, gosh. Anyway, so I had to leave that source alone at that point in time. So Big 10 from Adam Goff. I don't think we're going to be going with that because Chef Ross wouldn't allow it. But we're going to put it on the list, and maybe if it gets enough votes, we'll see how it goes. Max says, I love when smaller conferences try to punch up. Sorry that the SEC and Big 10 don't want to sit with you.
Gotta love when Max throws some shade, man.
LSU, yes, because
no
it's
shade
facts.
Facts.
Not shade. And I just love, like, it's big rain cloud versus little rain cloud when it's AG versus Max Delighted. Oh, I love them fellas. LSU Jeff says Smokey Robinson or Barbie Cute. Those are two good ones. Smokey Robinson, I really like that one. I just want whatever name. I'm just like, oh yeah, I'd name my pig that. That's the one I want to go with. That's the one I want to go with. I want it to feel personal when we're diving in for Pop's Pig Picking Barbecue.
Wilbur's on the list.
That might be on this list. Christopher Multiconte's got two of them.
Cam Ward for the pig.
He's got a.
You don't have Cam Ward? Seriously?
You should have named a Pig Ward or something.
No Ham Ward?
Yeah, Ham Ward. I'm replying back to him on that one.
Keep it consistent.
Ham Ward.
Christopher Multiconte, keep it consistent.
But I do like his answer because I thought of it, but then I didn't want it to go down that rabbit hole.
So the answer Christopher gave was Pops the Pig. Why wouldn't you want to, name
in
it
honor of my dad? I don't want to be putting Pops on the barbecue. But I did think of
Here
it.
you go, Ron. Hop on up, buddy. Hey, this won't hurt you now. Oh, Chef Ross, man, I love you, brother. Devin Bacon. Doesn't really.
Like you said, Kevin Bacon. It's
okay.
Kevin, I got it.
Yeah, you just stick with Kevin Bacon and just change the spelling of Kevin, I guess. I like Ham Ward, though.
Ham Ward
is great.
I like Ham Ward better than when I told you off the air.
Yeah. I'm going to save my personal favorite for last. Ohio Brad says Pig Newton. Now, we were kind of chatting back and forth on why was it Pig Newton, but I think it's Fig Newton.
Fig Newton.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
it could be
Cam.
Could be Auburn shaved.
Yeah. Throwing some shade at Cam.
Yeah.
Cam Newton.
There you go.
Maybe he got a laptop stolen or something.
Did this poor pig have its laptop stolen?
I don't know. I didn't talk to the guy with the store.
The more negative the circumstances for the pig, the juicier the bacon.
Needs to be like the NFL draft stories are like, oh, well, his dad left when he was 3, and his mom, when they always just highlight all the things that have gone wrong. It's like, we need the same thing for the pig.
We even prank called this pig and let him know that,
he was going number 1 overall. He didn't.
Yeah.
Exactly. Dude that used to be on ESPN and now on Fox telling all the sad stories about the players that had like cancer and stuff. It's not. Whoa.
Is it Rich Eyes?
No.
Jeremy Schapp or somebody?
I mean, kind of like Jeremy Schapp, but he now does Big Noon Game. He did ESPN College Game Day forever.
Is it?
It's not Ronaldo.
Ronaldo? No.
Ronaldo.
Tom Rinaldi.
Oh, Tom Rinaldi.
Yeah, I don't want Tom Rinaldi coming to this and telling a story about the poor pig.
There you go. Ohio Brad with Pig Newton. Leanne Schwartzentruber's got Wilbur, which is from Charlotte's Web. Yep. So there's the other pig movie, right? Which it's not Beauty and the Babe. That's Beauty and the Beast.
Babe.
Yeah, Babe. There you go. And then Andy Siegel, Coach Siegel, going with bacon. And then the final picture is Chef Ross. What's that? Just the...
It's the head to feet. I got a really bad picture because we didn't get it completely out of the box. But I promise you it'll be a much better picture after the pig gets cooked.
And there you go. So text your answer in 850-215-6290. We've got Gabriel says Pop Smoke Porker. There you go. That's a good one. Tim says Spam Newton.
Oh,
Spam Newton.
So now we got Cam Newton covered one more.
Spam Newton is in there. And then Bill Horner says, gotta call it Jefferson Davis Boss Hog. After the
Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah, Dukes of Hazzard.
Boss
there you
Hog,
go.
yeah.
Boss Hog. Good stuff. 850-215-6290. Red 70s phone line.
What you got, Tyler? Give me the break to think about it. I'll come back with something.
All right, there you go. Coming up in the next break, we're going to have Alan Watson, or coming up in the next segment, we're going to have Alan Watson, owner of Golf Plus. Then at 5 o'clock, we're going to be talking with Javian Elliott, who played locally here at Rutherford, played football here at Rutherford, is going to be coaching here at Rutherford this year for the first time. He's got a camp coming up June 7th. And it's free, but you do have to register for it, and they're only taking up to 175 people, so we'll find out if they still have room for you coming up at the top of hour number 2. But he played football at Florida State. He was a walk-on and then got a scholarship going into his senior year, then was an undrafted free agent signed to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, then went and played for the Panthers, then played some 3 years, I believe, in the Canadian Football League. So really interesting stuff. Banji Bombadella wrote a story about him earlier on this year. So excited to have him on the airwaves with us, and that will be today at 5 o'clock. Then we're going to talk with Tyler. We've got a fun little game planned out for you at 5:20, but it's going to be Tuesdays Takes with Tyler. Talking college football, but it's going to be a little bit of a twist. What is that game that if each team were a movie, a genre, or a movie genre? Me and Tyler are going to do college football, and then Caveman and Chef Ross are going to do whatever sport they want to do. So, because I've already heard Chef Ross has already just went across the board. I was like, well, I guess, yeah, we could. I wasn't planning on doing it that way, but that also helps out Caveman Rick because he's not as...
college football savvy?
Yeah, well, not that he's not savvy. He's savvy. He just doesn't care about college football as much as what he does the other sports. So it gives him a lot more freedom in that area, whereas me and Tyler can dive into the college football, and then that way we make all the fans happy at one time. Oh, did not get the spare. Guess what sport we're watching here in the
I think Ken's gonna
CBC
get the spare.
Construction Studios? He's bowling down the right side of the lane, and it's good.
I saw some of the women's national championship lacrosse, or women's lacrosse national championship game a couple days ago. So I've been watching all sorts of weird sports lately.
Bro, I'm talking about the summertime just does it to you. The summertime just, because you're sitting there like, well, what am I going to watch? And you'll find something, especially early Saturday mornings.
It's funny though, like going back to the ACC Big Ten comment you had a few minutes ago, like watch. So it was Northwestern, North Carolina was the women's lacrosse national championship, and like North Carolina just looked more athletic.
Yeah,
like weirdly enough, I mean it was still women, but it just looked like kind of like a football game where you're just like this, the North versus the South, where the Southern team just looked faster and like more athletic. It was just funny to see it translate into like a whole different sport that I've ever watched before.
What's weird to me about lacrosse is the differences in men and women's. Like,
I've never watched men's lacrosse.
Well, I haven't watched a ton of it, but like in the men's, they've got all these pads on and everything. And
them girls
the goalie,
they
got nothing.
Eye guards.
Yeah, they got little eye goggles.
Face masks.
Yeah, they're not even goggles. Yeah, they're face masks. Like this doesn't look. Yeah,
it was weird.
it's the wildest thing.
What gets me is that when you watch college lacrosse, the goaltenders look the same as the forwards and the defenders. And then you look at professional lacrosse, and the goaltenders are wearing more gear than NHL goaltenders.
they look like, bigger than the goals.
Yeah, it's like, are you kidding me? So, like, what I want to know is what the discrepancy is there. Like, and how do you go from one to the other? I mean, that'd be like the equivalent of basketball going from like a 10-foot like rim to like a 16-foot rim. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
big difference. But
I mean, look at the goaltenders though. Like, when they're bigger than the net. You know, and like when you're used to playing in college with a goalie that's built like that and has like the lack of pads, and then if you go to pro, now you're doing it like that. That's a huge discrepancy to me. I just don't understand that.
Yeah, well, maybe we can Google our way into an answer right here. Lacrosse colleges to the pros. Well, we'll have to do that one of these days. Maybe we could find someone to get on with us who's big into lacrosse and talk about those facts. Maybe someone's on the line right now, but I'm going to take a guess and assume that is Alan Watson calling in because he's our only guest that we have on. Is that Alan? Yeah, so he's the only guest that we have on that will be like, we called you, but nothing happened, so please give us a call back. You guys are riding with the Afternoon Underdogs as O'Neal has just missed a turkey. Actually, it was not O'Neal missing that. That was Kent again, trying to lock up a spare. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs, keeping you updated on the PBA.
Keep the game going with ESPN Northwest Florida. Just because you get out of the car doesn't mean the Sports Talk and Line play-by-play have to end. Just say, hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida. From Michigan Avenue to the Man Cave, from the car to the kitchen, we've got you covered. Keep the game going. Hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. The remainder of the day, a mixture of light sprinkles and mostly sunshine and a temperature of 88 with wind 10 to 15 miles per hour out of the south-southeast. Partly cloudy skies and light sprinkles tonight and warm near 75. Partly sunny in the morning but otherwise likely thunderstorms and 84 tomorrow. 85 and a chance of thunderstorms and light showers Thursday. This is your Tuesday's weather brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, where the locals go for the best boiled seafood around. Crawfish, shrimp, red royals, and everything crabs. Watch almost every sporting event in the country on their huge outdoor jumbotron. Follow them on Facebook to stay up to date on weekly events, live music, and food and beer specials. Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, your home away from home for sports, good times, and great food. The best boiled seafood. Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, 320 West 5th Street, downtown Panama City.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
It's been an up-and-down start for the 2025 Atlanta Braves, which means every win counts more than ever.
1-2, he hits one well. Deep left field. Gonna head back to the wall. Boom! A two-run home run!
Tonight, the Braves homestand rolls on as Austin Riley leads Atlanta into a huge NL battle with the Arizona Diamondbacks at Truist Park.
Pre-game show, 6 o'clock. First pitch, 6:15. Your home for the Braves on the Gulf Coast, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Broadcasting from the CBC Construction Studios. The mission.
Your mission, should you decide to accept it.
Save the panhandle from boring cookie-cutter radio. Now back to the Afternoon Underdogs.
The state will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're in the Doghouse, built up by CBC Construction. You can head on over to cbcconstruction.com or call them at 850-747-3815 for all of your construction needs. We're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. You can like and share the Facebook feed and subscribe to your YouTube channel or to our YouTube channel. Download the app and register. Just go to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida by way of your Google Play or your Apple Store. I'm David Hayes along with Tyler Bishop, Caveman Rick, Chef Ross. We're going to the Red 7T's phone line with Alan Watson, owner of Golf Plus. Alan, how are you doing today on a Tuesday afternoon? A little bit out of our routine. I might miss the next putt.
Right. Yeah, no, it's all good. Yeah, I'm doing okay. You know, weather's pretty good, so we're just calming back down after the Gulf Coast Jam weekend and everything. You know, everything's just kind of settling back down to somewhat normal beach activity.
There you go. Let's see. I've got really no questions pertaining to actually what's happening in the world of golf right now, but I've got some questions set up for you. Before we dive into that, Chef Ross, he was like, oh, you don't got Max Homa on your list. So I was like, I'm going to be honest with you, don't know what you're talking about. So Chef Ross, why don't you ask our first question to our guest, Alan Watson?
So, Alan, how are your feelings about Max Homa carrying his own bag on Monday and that resulting him missing the cut?
Well, I mean, you're talking about the U.S. Open qualifier.
Yeah, he missed the qualifier.
I think. Yeah, U.S. Open qualifier. I mean, most everybody at the U.S. Open qualifier, a lot of times those are younger guys that are going to carry their own bag, like college-age guys and stuff. And you do have the ability to have a caddy for those. It's kind of interesting that he decided to carry his own bag. Not sure 100% what the decision-making was there, but considering he's not used to having to do that anymore, even with a lighter stand bag and probably not carrying, his full staff bag and all that, that's still weight on his shoulders and physical stress that he's not used to. So obviously kind of a bad idea probably, especially considering the outcome, hindsight being 2020. But I just think anytime you break your routine in golf, you risk playing bad. So if you're not used to playing with your cell phone in your pocket, then don't play with your cell phone in your pocket. If you don't like to wear a wristwatch when you play, then don't wear a wristwatch when you play. Every little thing that you do that's different from what you normally do can throw you off in terms of your physical, mental, everything. And so, that's really interesting. I'd love to know why he decided to do that, and I don't know why.
I did a little bit.
Obviously, it didn't work.
I did a little bit of reading into that, and apparently he fired his longtime caddy before Augusta, and then fired his new caddy like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I knew he had fired his longtime caddy, but I didn't know about the recent firing.
Yeah, and then, of course, to break it down in the 36th hole, he missed a 4-foot putt to guarantee him a spot in the Open, which caused the 5-person playoff.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, well, that's kind of a mess. So I don't know what's going on with him, man. He's kind of out of sorts right now. I hate it for him because he's definitely one of the best players out there. He's really fallen on hard times in certain terms of his game over the last 6 months or so. Not really sure what's happening with him, so that's a shame. He'll get a new caddy though soon, and everything will be okay on the pro circuit. But it's a shame he's not going to make the U.S. Open.
Yeah. Max says, I'd much rather talk about the golf instead of all the questions about the caddy. I'm good. It just hoofed it 36. He also said it's going to probably be heartbreaking, but it's all right. I haven't carried my bag 36 holes in a while, so I'm a little tired. Alan, for you personally, do you prefer playing early morning, midday, or the twilight rounds?
I like playing first thing in the morning, when there's still a little bit of dew out there and a little wet. I like to kind of get the day started like that. Middle of the day, especially down here, it's pretty hot, so that's tough. And late in the day, I'm running out of energy because I'm old. So, I'd rather play first thing.
Mine is whenever the rounds are the cheapest. Tyler, what about for you?
Yeah, I'm a value for bang for the buck. No, I like playing earlier morning, like a good 9 o'clock tee time, especially in the fall. Before
that's midday in the world of golf.
Yeah. But
I love that he thinks 9 o'clock is early.
All right, Alan, you're a golf shop owner over there at Golf Plus. What's the worst golf fashion trend that you've seen?
Probably hoodies, and I don't mind hoodies in real life, but I just don't understand them on the golf course. I can't quite get it. I don't understand. Nobody's actually wearing the hood up, so there's no purpose to that, So I can't quite figure out the whole hoodie thing as it relates to golf. And I wear them, but like I said, not on the golf course. I don't get it.
Yeah,
so no Bill Belichick golfing.
Yeah, well, there you go, man.
No.
I don't know if I've ever worn yes, I have. I just remembered. I can't even remember the name. I think it was somewhere in Shalimar, maybe, Shalimar Point or something like that. But I definitely wore a hoodie for like the first 2 holes, and then once the sun peeked out. But it was cold, man. And us Florida boys.
No, sir.
Come on now. Give me a little bit of a break. Alan, what's your personal philosophy when it comes to fitting? Is it more data first, feel first, or is there a balance there?
Well, I can't feel what the golfer's feeling, so I have to go off the data, but I also take into account what the golfer is feeling if they can put those words, into usable phrases. Sometimes I'll say to somebody, hey, did you like, shaft A or shaft B or club A or club B? And sometimes they can't really articulate whether they liked one or better, or maybe they'll say, I liked one better, but I don't know why or whatever. So sometimes without good sort of responses or good feedback from my customer, I have to go off the data. But ultimately, it is a data thing because, if, like I was working with one of my guys today, we were a little bit slow at one point. And so I said, hey, let's go over to the simulator and work on some stuff. And I was showing him how different shafts react. And he's like, oh, man, you seem to really like that one particular shaft. And I said, yes. And then when we went to the data, looked at the computer, it was turned out that was the best one anyway. So usually there's a marriage of what feels good and what the numbers say. But you have to have the numbers. If you don't have numbers that make sense, if you're not getting launch angles and spin rates correct, then all the feel in the world won't matter. But what we tend to see is that they do marry together very well, and it's very infrequent that the computer numbers and the person's feelings don't sort of match.
Is there a club in the bag that's the hardest to get right in a fitting, and if so, why?
Well, for a lot of people, it's the driver, just because that's the club that everybody kind of has the most anxiety about anyway. They want that club to be right. They want to be able to hit the driver long and straight, find fairways, and be happy about it. So I think a lot of people just put a ton of pressure on themselves for the driver. And then the other problem there is just that a driver is difficult to hit because it has the longest shaft, it has the lowest loft. So, it's difficult. I would say close second to that would be a 3-wood. And again, that's a long shafted club with low loft. But a lot of people just kind of lose their mind when I tell them to hit a 3-wood off the deck or whatever. They're like, can I tee it up or can I do this, whatever. So, but yeah, I mean, it can be, some people just get stressed out no matter what, swinging indoors, and we've had a lot of that lately where we've had to sort of talk people into being comfortable with the idea of sitting indoors. And I get that, but it does provide for a nice, benign environment where we don't have to worry about wind and dirt and things like that,
Alan, how much does the lie angle really affect the iron performance?
Yeah, the lie angle's big because what lie angle does is it allows the club to either move or not move according to how you're swinging it. So what I mean by that is if I have the wrong lie angle, then the club is going to impact the ground at an angle that I don't want it to, and then it's going to move in a way that I might not want it to. So having the appropriate lie angle allows you to just be able to make your swing. The club will then cut through the turf appropriately as it strikes the ground, and you won't have any heel or toe interference that causes that to, shift. If you could imagine, I'll give you a good analogy. If you could imagine wearing a pair of shoes that are about 2 or 3 sizes too big and then trying to run a 100-yard dash, your feet would be sliding around inside the shoe. You wouldn't have the traction you wanted. You would probably slip and fall at some point. That's the way having the wrong lie angle does. That club is just sort of moving in ways that you don't intend for it to, and when it hits the ground, that causes left and right shots that we don't want. So lie angle is very, very important.
Alan, what is the one thing you wish most golfers or more golfers knew when they were walking into a fitting session with you?
Just to relax, just to calm down. I've had people that have been in a real hurry, some people lately. I've had other people that were stressed out because we were indoors, and obviously they grew up with their mama telling them not to play indoors, and so now I'm handing them a golf club and telling them to swing as hard as they want, and that's just weird inside. So I think definitely just the mental aspect of being able to relax. And then there's some people that are, especially if they're newer golfers, sometimes they're very cognizant of people watching them, so that kind of freaks them out. And, I have to watch them to do my job, so there's not much I can do about that. So, yeah.
Hey, Alan, have you ever just had a situation where you did a fitting and the numbers showed everything to be right, but the player hated the field? And then if that happens, what's your recourse then?
Yeah, it's happened very, very rarely, but I can remember a couple of times where I've said to somebody hey, this is the one. This, you nailed it. that's the driver or that's the iron or whatever. And then they're like, yeah, but I hate it. So I think sometimes that's like a mental bias against certain brands where they came in kind of expecting the numbers to land on the one that they wanted it to land on, and it didn't. And so in their own mind, they're like, yeah, but I really want to get this particular one. And so there's some confirmation bias there. It's rare. Usually I can show somebody on the screen and they can see it just as easily as I can see it. Like, hey, that one went straighter, that one went longer, that one had a tighter dispersion or whatever. I don't really, but yeah, it does happen. It just doesn't happen very often.
You're listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Right now, we're on the line with the owner of Golf Plus, Alan Watson. Alan, we've got a listener question here from Boston Tim. Can you explain how a golfer would decide which golf ball he should play?
Well, there's a couple of things. The first one, the first one's really just budget. I mean, some people are just not going to want to spend a certain amount of money on golf balls based on where they are in their game or whatever. So you've got to kind of decide on a budget range first. Golf balls range from about $15 a box all the way up to about $55 a box. So it's a wide range. But once you've determined how much you're willing to spend, then we're going to look at the performance of the golf ball as it relates to what the golfer needs. So if I've got somebody that says I don't hit the ball very high, we can find a ball that'll fly higher and spin more. If they say I hit the ball too high, we can find a ball that'll fly lower. If they say, well, I tend to spin it a lot and the ball just kind of goes out of control, there are a couple of models that are designed to control that. And then, of course, you've got other factors like sometimes people want a color so they can see it better or whatever, which has nothing to do with performance, but it might be important to them. So, yeah, there's just a ton of factors there, but I think overall we're just trying to marry their budget with the type of performance that they need. There are a lot of great golf balls in the market, and they really do different things. There's been tons of independent testing to show that not every golf ball goes the same. So when you hear somebody say, well, I found this one in the woods, but it'll be just as good as my normal ball or whatever, that is not true. They are all different, and you do need to figure out the one that you like, the one that works best for you, that fits your parameters, and then you got to just stick with it and be consistent. Playing a different ball in every hole or every round is why you don't know your numbers and why you have no consistency.
Well, what about, he asked, do you play different balls depending on the course?
No, not really. I mean, the only thing that would make a good player change their golf ball would be if they were going over to Europe to play in like super heavy wind and rain like that. I mean, then you might want a ball that flies a little bit lower, that's not going to get stuck in the clouds, and dealing with all that wind. But that's really about it. Especially if you interviewed most of the PGA Tour players, you would see that they've been playing the same ball for years and years and years. And even when they do finally have to switch, they're going to still try to find something that does the same thing as what they're used to. That'd be extremely rare to change, just based on the week or based on the golf course, especially if you're still here in America.
Forgive me if this sounds dumb, Alan, because I don't know. I'm not a golfer, so I don't even know if this has been attempted or if this is even feasible. But, has there ever been any talk, okay, so now you got NASCAR, and the premise of NASCAR is that all the cars are supposed to be the same, and that it's all about the driving and the track and not about, the car. So, where they do a golf tournament or a league or something where everybody's using the same equipment, like the same balls, for instance. So everybody's truly just playing the course, and there's not a difference in this ball works better for me, this club works better for me. Anything like that where you can kind of make it more like a level playing field, if you will?
Yeah, there's never been too much talk that I'm aware about that, and we've talked about it, just golfers just joshing about it. But the problem there becomes that unlike NASCAR, where the cars are supposed to be all set up the same, in golf, not everybody's the same height, not everybody's the same strength, not everybody has the same swing. So you might have a set of clubs that fits really, really well to one person just by luck, right, just by default. And then other guys are like, yeah, these are horrible for me. These don't work with my swing. So even though it would be an even playing field in theory, it really wouldn't be, because if the clubs best fit somebody who was taller or somebody who was stronger, then the shorter, weaker guys would be like, I can't use this. Or, a certain flex might work for a Max Homa, but then if you gave that same club to Jordan Spieth, he might hate it. So I think it's a great idea in theory, but as soon as you realize, especially since we've been talking about fitting and stuff and how specific clubs have to be to each person's swing, then you kind of see how that probably wouldn't work as well.
Well, Alan, what would your message be to someone who's never had a fitting and thinks that it won't make a difference, i.e. Tyler Bishop? No, I'm just kidding. He did not say that.
I mean, it definitely makes a difference. Now, there are certain people who don't have their swing developed enough to where there's enough consistency to really get the full benefits of a fitting.
Yeah.
But having certain specs, I mean, length is huge. So that we can fit anybody to length regardless of skill level. Then lie angle becomes huge, but you have to have the right shaft for that to really work. So then that's another issue, and so on and so forth. And sometimes people are playing the wrong brand or the wrong model head just because it's something somebody gave them or whatever. So to truly play your best golf and to have your good shots be what you meant for them to be and your bad shots be kind of better than you deserve, you really do have to have properly fitted equipment. Now, if you are out there shooting 130 and you just don't care and that's just your time to have fun and hang out with your boys, then yeah, don't come get a fitting, right? Don't waste your time, our time, don't waste your money, whatever. But if you want to get better, whether you're a 130 shooter or whether you're just trying to break 80 or 70 or 90 or whatever, if you're trying to get better, if you're trying to improve and you know that maybe you've reached the point of your potential, now it's time to dial in the equipment and see what we can do to make things work better.
There you go. Great stuff as always. Alan, final question for you. What is the product that we're loving at Golf Plus?
Oh, man. We just got in the new Spider Zero Torque putters from TaylorMade and just already blew through most of them in our Dothan store, but we still got a pretty good complement of them in the PCB store. And super excited. TaylorMade has been working on this putter for a while. Brian Harmon won with it early this year on the PGA Tour, but the product wasn't ready for market. So they had all this hype, but they didn't have a product to sell. Well, it's finally here. It's absolutely gorgeous. It works. And so it's going to compete with Lab. It's going to compete with the Odyssey Square to Square that's been so hot this season. And so Spider Zero Torque putters are in stock, and we are excited to have them. They're not going to last long, and we've already been told that the second wave shipment probably won't come for another couple of months. So this is going to be kind of I wouldn't say a one and done, but it's going to be a one and done for a while in terms of getting product. So pretty excited about that new putter.
There you go. Great reason to be excited, and Father's Day just around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
So that seems like a perfect opportunity for the golfer that you love. Hey, Alan, thanks so much for your time, and have a great rest of your Tuesday afternoon.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Always good to talk to you.
Alan Watson is the owner of Golf Plus. Two great locations. One up there just in Dothan off of 231 off of Montgomery Highway. And then one right here in your own backyard at the Shops at Edgewater right next door to Firefly. If you haven't been yet, my goodness gracious, what are you? Can you even say that you play the game of golf to the best of your abilities? I'll tell you, no. You absolutely cannot. We got a couple of more great names for the Pops Pig Pickin' Pig. That's going to be the barbecue. We'll get to those when we get back. Caveman Rick, Tyler should have an answer, and I'll come up with something off the skin of my back, kind of like my pork rinds. You're right with the Afternoon Underdogs. This is ESPN Northwest Florida.
A two-run home run.
The Atlanta Braves are back.
Here comes the throw. It's late. Braves win.
And ESPN Northwest Florida is your exclusive radio home for Braves country.
He just wrecked that thing. Straightaway center, a homer for Riley.
Sales, Strider, Acuna, Ozzie, Riley, Profar, and Coach Snitker lead a stellar lineup. Listen live nights and weekends on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. The remainder of the day, a mixture of light sprinkles and mostly sunshine and a temperature of 88 with wind 10 to 15 miles per hour out of the south-southeast. Partly cloudy skies and light sprinkles tonight and warm near 75. Partly sunny in the morning but otherwise likely thunderstorms and 84 tomorrow. 85 and a chance of thunderstorms and light showers Thursday. This is your Tuesday's weather brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now to learn more.
800-605-4650. 800-605-4650. 800-605-4650. That's 800-605-4650.
It's been an up and down start for the 2025 Atlanta Braves, which means every win counts more than ever.
1-2, he hits one well. Deep left field. Gonna head back to the wall. Boom! A 2-run home run!
Tonight, the Braves homestand rolls on as Austin Riley leads Atlanta into a huge NL battle with the Arizona Diamondbacks at Truist Park.
Pre-game show 6 o'clock, first pitch 6:15. Your home for the Braves on the Gulf Coast, ESPN, Northwest Florida.
You found us inside the CBC Construction Studios. Pound the like and crush the subscribe. Follow us on social media for the latest sports news, scores, and updates. Keeping you in the game. Now back to the Afternoon Underdogs, ESPN Northwest Florida.
You're back in the doghouse, riding along with the Afternoon Underdogs, listening to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. I'm David Hayes, along with Tyler Bishop, Chef Ross, and Caveman Rick. Hiller Plumbing. Go to their website, happyhiller.com, or call them at 850-290-4341. Our confident service technicians will provide you with a solution for any home, plumbing, heating, or cooling problem. Let us show you how we can make you a Happy Hiller customer. Contact your trusted licensed technician in Panama City today at happyhiller.com or 850-290-4341. The Red 7T's phone line is 850-215-6290. Taking your calls and text this afternoon, right on the Afternoon Underdogs. Did I come up with a trivia question today? I did not. So we're going to move on.
I know the answer then.
There you go. The answer is whatever you want it to be. But we did have a few more comments come in. Johnny Yankee Seed says Peppa Pig. I think that one would be great if there's a bunch of kids involved.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, like, oh, hey, guys, you remember watching Peppa Pig? Yeah, look at her now.
Kind of looks like Peppa Pig. The picture I took.
There you go. And then give each kid a little salt shaker. Hey, this is a little bit of her brains. Okay, all right, Caveman Rick Jr. over here. Butch Bernard says, Coach Butch, rather, he says, the notorious, this might be my favorite now, the notorious PIG.
And I was going Piggy Smalls.
Yep, there you go. There you go, Piggy Smalls. You can do a little combination there. Doc A, Steve Alexander, he's going with Doc H, in parentheses, OG. Doc H-O-G. And I think we had one more. Professor Plum says Porky Pig. That's a good one right there. And then my favorite of all the ones that were left on the Facebook feed, or the Facebook post, was from Boston Tim. Chicharron. I think, yeah, you just call him Cheech, and then, for those who like to roll their R's, Chicharron. Caveman Rick, you got a name for the pig?
I had a good one. I forgot it, so give me a minute.
Okay, all right, that'll come back. Just don't think too hard about that. Distract yourself by reading something back there or something. No, I'm serious. It works. It works every time. All right, go ahead.
Q.
What you got?
Q. Because he's barbecue.
Hey, there you go. That's what he'll end up as, right? As Q. No doubt about it. That's got to be good.
How about this? Yeah, Kermit's girlfriend.
Kermit's girlfriend. There you go. What was her name?
Miss Piggy.
Miss Piggy.
We just better saying Kermit's girlfriend, I think.
Yeah, there you go.
Or what's his face? Patrick Mahomes' chick. Brittany.
Brittany.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Brittany Mahomes with the new weapons and all.
There we go.
Patrick's upgrade.
Patrick's upgrade. Yeah, they showed a little side-by-side picture of her the other day on social media or something. I was like, goodness gracious, yep.
Why did it take so long is my question.
Well, they had to make sure that they had to fit it into their budget.
Like I said, why did it, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm just kind of curious. Like, that's just kind of like, what? You would have thought that would happen a lot sooner.
Well, maybe they were waiting until after the birth of their baby and like the nursing.
Oh, maybe it could be. That might make sense.
No more
then if
kids.
that's the case, that might make sense.
Nah, there's no way they're not going to have any more kids. You can. I think you can still.
Man, when you got that
afterwards.
when you got that kind of money, you pay people to have your kids for you. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't worried about like going through all that 9 months of that BS. Like, it with no surrogates. Let them deal with it.
The 4th annual Pop's Pig Picker Barbecue, brought to you by the weapons, brought to you by... No, but the 4th annual Pop's Pig Pick and Barbecue, all proceeds going to benefit hurricane relief efforts, and Chef Ross will be spearheading those. Dinner tickets are just $20. That's going to get you pulled pork, mac and cheese, baked beans, no mac and cheese.
Choice of sides.
Choice of sides.
We get 2 choices.
2 choices. What's our choices? Coleslaw?
Coleslaw, baked beans, mac and cheese, tater salad. No raisins in the tater salad, I promise. Which, I don't even know where that came from. I'm from up north. I've never seen raisins in the tater salad.
How do y'all like y'all's chicken salad? Do you like it with the cranberries, or do you just like it?
It depends. I mean, I could eat either way.
I've had it with the cranberries for the first time in a very long time, not too long ago. It was good, but
I like my
prefer
chicken normally baked or fried or something like that.
We're talking about chicken salad. Chicken salad. You don't eat chicken salad?
Man, not usually. I want to eat just chicken, dude.
I do.
That's
Fried
leftovers. That's leftovers.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
you
all
can
that
turn
is.
your chicken into
I made chicken salad at a restaurant once and didn't have the cranberries, so I found dried blueberries and it worked a lot better.
I bet, though, and I'm a blueberry guy, which I love. Cranberries, strawberries, just throw them in a container and I'll eat them all right there.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. We got a little buy or bell action. We can kill a little bit of time before we get into our number 2 here. Actually, let's go to the NBA NHL Finals real quick. Get you guys his picks because I know this is what Tyler has been looking forward to all summer long. Like, he doesn't even watch one single NBA game until after Game 7 of the NBA Finals.
Then I watch them all.
Yeah, go back and it takes detailed. I mean, he is the reason why ChatGPT knows anything about basketball. The Thunder are minus 700 to win this series. I think you can get them at like plus 210 to sweep. Plus 330 to sweep, plus 210 for a gentleman's sweep, and then like the best odds if you want the Thunder to win, the most. Not favorable odds, but the best value is at the Thunder winning in 7 games. The Pacers, however, are a plus 500 underdog, and they've been underdogs in every one of their series so far, but this looks to be like they've met their match. We'll see. They have the same depth. They can play at the same pace as the Pacers. You could make the argument that they're deeper. Their bench actually plays more minutes, so this could be the match that kind of takes the Pacers out of it, but we'll see. Plus 500 makes them the largest favorite since 2018. Caveman Rick, who wins this series?
I hate to say it, but it's probably going to be the Thunder. Okay.
Yeah, and don't hate to say it. I mean, I'm right there in the same boat as you. How about you, Chef Ross?
My mind's telling me the Thunder, but also looking back, the Pacers have not had any respect in, honestly, 2 years. They had no respect going to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. They had no respect at all this year. They got off to a really slow start, played lights out at the end, but the Bucks were supposed to sweep them. The Knicks were supposed to sweep them. I forgot who they played in between that, but they were supposed to lose that series as well.
Have they ever got any respect?
I'm sure Reggie Miller got some sort of respect at one point in his life.
Hey,
I don't even think they got respected in Mouse the Palace.
No, they definitely did not. That's like the epitome of disrespect right there when fans are throwing soda on you.
If I had a $2 bet, I would throw $2 on the Pacers for 5-1 odds.
Yeah, I mean, that'd win you what, $10? Yeah. There you go. I'm going to pick the Pacers, but that's a biased pick. I do think that this series is closer than what people want to give it credit for. I think that we're looking at at least a 6-game series. And if I'll say this too, if the Pacers still won in OKC, if they go back to Indiana with 1 win, they will win this series.
You know what I'd like to see though? If the Pacers were like to win, I would like to see Halliburton's dad come out and like mouth off to SGA or somebody else again just to make a point and be like, yeah, you guys try to shut me up, but look what happened now. My son won, and you guys suck. You know what I'm saying?
Just let it go wild.
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome, though. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, there you go. And then we'll see, does Halliburton end up winning the finals MVP as they went with Pascal Siakam to be the Eastern Conference Finals MVP? That was a little bit interesting to say the very least, but that's the direction that they ended up going. So, Tyler, take a shot in the dark here.
I'm going to pick the Pacers just because of the underdog. Like, going into this year, or going into the playoffs, Minnesota and Thunder would have probably been like my top two teams if I could have picked a team to win.
Yeah.
But the Pacers have 3 of the 4 craziest wins in like NBA postseason history, or since 1990 or whatever the stat is.
Yeah.
7
and the close
losing by
time.
7. But and then if they're the largest underdog since 2018, like we're the Afternoon Underdogs. I can pick that favorite. Come on, get out of here with that now.
Let's go. And then on the NHL side of things, the Panthers and the Oilers, this is as even as it gets. Both teams at -110 to win the series. The what I found interesting, the over or under here, over 5.5 games the series goes is at -10. Under that is at +170. They went 7 last year. They got to be going at least 6 this year, right? So, Caveman, who do you like winning this series? Back-to-back for the Panthers, or did the Oilers split?
Oh, Canada.
Oh.
Shut his mic.
I want to see the Oilers win. Yeah. I had a futures bet on them, man, but Scotty Scheffler screwed that up. Because I had him winning the Masters along with the Oilers to win the Stanley Cup and Alcaraz right now winning the French. So if I would have hit all 3. But like I said, Scheffler screwed the pooch on the first leg of the parlay.
That's why you can't trust the felon.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Chef Ross, what about yourself?
Give me the Panthers. I'll go 7. But, yeah, give me the Panthers in 7.
Tyler?
Picking no Canada team. Go Panthers, baby. Let's go. America.
This is, I think I would rather see Edmonton win just because I don't want to see the Florida Panthers go back-to-back. Because I was going to come in to go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead and finish. I'll say something.
Well, I was going to respond back to you, to your Oh Canada, to Oh Canada. But I think I want Edmonton to win this. It's a coin flip. It's 50-50. The odds say that. Give me the Panthers to answer back this year.
I think if the Oilers are to win this, like, I don't even know if Edmonton will survive. Like, this, the country of Canada will just go, like, Edmonton's a town.
Yeah,
Alberta's the province. And they also have Calgary, so the whole province isn't going to go like that nuts because they got Calgary there and it's not there. But, I mean, for the whole country, it hasn't been since 93. I mean, it's not just going to be in Edmonton where they're going to be out in the streets partying and stuff. It's going to be, like, across the whole country.
The snow will melt up there.
It'd be a big deal. I'd just be curious to see kind of like the aftermath and what kind of shenanigans and what happens.
There you go. And then last but not least, before we go, we got to go to that Red 7 Tees text line, and we've got Lynn Haven Rob chiming in about potato salad. He says raisins are in carrot salad. At a cookout, the raisins in the potato salad are flies. You're right with the Afternoon Underdogs. This is ESPN Northwest Florida. Quick timeout. We'll be right back with JV and Elliott.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has the most college and local sports anywhere on the Panhandle. Join the Coach Hale Show, mornings from 7 to 9, live from the J. Michaels Studio.
Best seafood, the Coles beer.
High school coverage, the SEC and beyond. It's all right here. Mornings on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Of course, it helps when you're a multi-millionaire.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Tuesday. For tonight, very light rain and mostly clear skies, and a low of 75 with a gentle breeze out of the east at 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow morning, very light rain and mostly sunshine with temps around 83. In the afternoon and evening, a likelihood of thunderstorms and light rain and a temperature near 84. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Pier Park, get ready to shake things up. Paradise Nutrition is now open. Craving flavor and fitness? We've got you covered. Loaded teas, protein-packed shakes, gourmet coffees, and refreshing drinks. From our signature Jimmy Buffett tea to Reese's Shake, Paradise Nutrition has over 600 flavor combos. Need energy? Appetite control? We've got add-ons like boba, biotin, collagen, and probiotics. Plus, try our donut whole shot appetite suppressant. Paradise Nutrition, Pier Park, next to Target.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? If competitive pricing and a quick turnaround are what matter to your business, come see us at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions. Or you can give us a call at 850-326-3000. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport. The best place in town to take a leak.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
And that's out of the ballpark.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
It's been an up and down start for the 2025 Atlanta Braves, which means every win counts more than ever.
1-2, he hits one well. Deep left field. Gonna head back to the wall. Boom! A two-run home run!
Tonight, the Braves homestand rolls on as Austin Riley leads Atlanta into a huge NL battle with the Arizona Diamondbacks at Truist Park.
Pre-game show 6 o'clock, first pitch 6:15. Your home for the Braves on the Gulf Coast, ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Now, we're live and local inside the CBC Construction Studios. It's real and it starts now. Back to the Afternoon Underdogs on the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're riding along with the Afternoon Underdogs, tuned into 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. I'm David Hayes, along with Tyler Bishop, Chef Ross, and Caveman Rick. We are the Afternoon Underdogs, live and local from the CBC Construction Studio. You can go to cbcconstruction.com or to their website, or to their, you can call them at 850-747-3815. The website is cbcconstruction.com. Our next guest over on the Red 7 T's phone line is Javian Elliott. He played high school football right here for your Rutherford Rams, walked on to Florida State after a year over there at Tallahassee Community College. Then he got a scholarship his senior year there at Florida State. Went to Tampa Bay as an undrafted free agent, then to the Panthers. Then he played a couple of years in the Canadian Football League, and now he is getting ready to be the defensive backs coach for your Rutherford Rams. Javian, thanks so much for giving us some of your time. How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. I'm excited to be on here. I appreciate you guys for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Heard or found better details about your story by reading about it on the News Herald with Banji Bomadella. Heck of a young man right there, as you are yourself, and been excited to have you come on the show with us. Tell us about the camp that you got coming up, Javian. June 7th, you and Coach Boris Jackson.
Yeah, man. Me and Coach Boris Jackson, he's a pillar in the Orlando community. He coaches at Dr. Phillips High School and also runs like a speed program down there. And we partnered up here. We met last year. We have a speed and agility and a competition camp for football. Boys and girls are welcome. It's free. And the main thing that we want to do out here is just promote work ethic and promote competition. I really believe there's a lot of talent here in Panama City. It just has to be developed and it has to be optimized. And one thing we want to do is raise the level of competition within the city.
There you go, man. And we need guys like you coming back and sharing what you've learned throughout your journey and passing that along to these youngins so that the sport of football and really just sports in general can grow here in the Bay County area. Now, the camp was free, but you guys had a limit of how many students you could have come out. Have you guys filled to capacity yet?
We have filled to capacity, but you can still come up, and as long as we'll still get some people in, as long as it's not like 250 kids out there. But right now we have a good amount of players that have signed up. Some parents have signed themselves up by accident, so feel free to come up if you have the time.
And where are you holding this camp at? Is this going to be at Tommy O?
Correct. This will be at Tommy Oliver. Registration is at 8 a.m., and then we'll start working out at 9 a.m.
And then you also do training sessions for a performance as well. How would someone listening get a training session from you for one of their young football players?
Yeah, you can go to my website at javionelliott.com, or you can find me on Facebook at javionelliott and DM me there. But that's the quickest way. We will have the first session free. You just have to sign up with the link, and then we can, put together a package for you that works best for you.
Hey, great stuff right there. Now, you're going to be coaching defensive backs for the Rutherford Rams this year. They were one of the most exciting teams, in my opinion. I actually call the games on the radio for the Mosley Dolphins, but the Rutherford Rams were one of the most exciting teams that I laid eyes on last year. What are you looking forward to the most coaching at your alma mater, the Rutherford Rams?
Man, I'm looking forward to it's almost just having this underdog mentality, you know. Rutherford has been under the radar. They've been they haven't been performing well, right? So it's not like it's not fitted for who they have been in the past, but I want to help do my part in revitalizing this program and bringing a level of attention to detail and competition and being able to set these guys up for success, man. I want to bring a ring back to Panama City, and I'm not saying that's what we're going to do this year, but I'm going to work really hard to do my part in building this into a successful program.
Yes, sir, and coaching alongside Nuke Floyd, that is going to be exciting, keeping up with the Rams this year. What's your favorite on-field memory from your time playing at Rutherford?
Man, I have so many memories. The most important thing is just having that bond. You know, when they say Ram Pride, that really means something. You know, we have multiple former players on our staff, and just being able to have that brotherhood is the most important things that stand out. Just being able to go and win some games. You know, my sophomore and junior year, we went above 500, but we played against some really good teams in the Tallahassee area, Lincoln, Leon, all the Florida High, and then being able to, the next year we played the teams in Pensacola. So really just the competition that we faced at that time was just some of the best times that I had in high school.
Were you, when you were at Rutherford, were you in high school in 2008?
That might have been my freshman year.
Were you on the football team by chance?
Might have been JV 08, yeah.
So in the Jamboree that year, I played for Eagles Nest in 2008. So y'all played us in the Jamboree and absolutely smashed. Anytime we played any of the public schools.
Yeah, it was like 55-7.
Yeah.
I did. I was on varsity. I played that game. I think I scored.
Yeah, so you might have ran me over a time or two in kickoff or something like that, because I was notorious for that. I think one time Mike Bass ran me straight over.
Yeah. And when I say, you know, brotherhood, that Mike Bass is one of those guys. Those were good times, man.
Yeah, man. Good stuff right there. Walking on to FSU, and you're on the scout team for 2 years. What was the moment like when you got that scholarship? We see these all the time from the outside looking in, when someone who's worked their tail off finally get the scholarship. What was that moment like for you?
Yeah, what's funny is we were actually headed out to practice, and I got one of Jimbo's. I was under Jimbo Fisher at the time. He was the head coach, and one of his assistants came down and he was like, "Hey, Jimbo want to meet you in the office, or he want to speak with you in the office." So I'm like, "Well, I've never been called up to Jimbo's office." So I kind of figured that I was about to get my scholarship, because all the players were asking about it. Like, "Man, when they gonna put you on scholarship, man? Like, you've been balling out." And once that happened, I kind of knew what time it was, but you just never know at the same time, because Jimbo, we rarely interacted to the point where I couldn't gauge on if I was going to get a scholarship or not. So I go up to his office, and he offers me the scholarship. To make a long story short, I was hungry. I stayed hungry. It wasn't this moment where I went down and I made an announcement to all the other players. Really what happened is I got dressed for practice. I went out to practice, and my mindset was, let's go earn a starting job, because I just wasn't satisfied with just earning a scholarship and being the walk-on that got rewarded for his hard work, and that was it. Like, I really wanted to leave a legacy at Florida State. I really wanted to leave a mark on every program that I've been a part of. So I didn't even tell anyone, really. Like, it had to get leaked. Not even leaked. Like, one of the coaches told some of the other players, like, hey, did Javian tell you he got put on scholarship? And it was like, what? No, we didn't even know that. Because my mindset was, I'm still hungry. Like, I didn't want to stop at just that. I still had so much more to prove.
So, Javian, who was the first person that you called and told that you got the scholarship?
I did call my mom and my dad after, maybe after that practice or going around that time. So I did share the news with my family, but overall, it was exciting to know that my hard work paid off, and knowing that, you know, I went through a lot of uncertain moments. Like, I never knew when my opportunity would come, if I was going to get a scholarship. Really, I just had to go day in and day out, proving myself, working hard, finding ways to separate myself, and then out of nowhere, the scholarship came, and it came with a lot of adversity. It came with a lot of setbacks, but in the end, it all worked out in my favor, and this is my story of how I became successful or earned my scholarship. But I want anyone who can hear this to know that you may be in uncertain seasons and not really know what your future is like, but you just have to just keep working, man. Keep working, keep showing up every day, taking it day by day, not being worrying about the outcome, but really just focusing on the process. And I know that sounds cliche, but that's what it is.
Yeah, that's the thing, is cliches make real true stories, and it may to some people sounds like it can never happen to them, but hey, if you just keep on putting that nose to the grindstone every morning when you wake up and keep on working your tail off, things will go your way. And even if they don't, keep on plugging along.
Exactly.
Javian, what game or play was the most memorable for you in your time at Florida State?
I always got to go to the interception. My first interception when we were playing against Louisville. We were playing against Lamar Jackson, and that was just a pivotal moment because I didn't start that game. I just got thrown in the mix, and I took advantage of the opportunity. In that game, that play, it changed the trajectory of my career. It changed my life, and it put a stamp on me becoming a starter for the rest of the season.
So you picked off Lamar Jackson?
Yes.
Let's go.
What was the best and worst part about playing for Jimbo?
Well, the best part is, man, he's gonna push you to be the best player that you can be. Like, he's under that Saban tree, so. You know, I'm not saying he's Nick Saban, but being under that tree, you're going to get a certain style of coaching that you have to have thick skin, but at the same time, you have to know that he's trying to bring the best out of you. The worst part is, you know, hey, you're gonna hear some choice words. You know, that's it. But at the end of the day, man, it's all for you to be the best player that you can be. Everyone isn't built for that, but. And you won't always get acknowledged. Just being real, like I was a walk-on. Like there were times where, hey, Jimbo, he might not even say a word to me in the hallway, but that didn't mean that he didn't notice me on the field. Yeah. You know, so those are the pros and cons. But overall, he was cool, man. Like we had some conversations. Like I feel like I earned his respect. And, you know, he started to open up more and being more personable. So, yeah.
You're listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. We got Javian Elliott on the line with us. He is the Rams defensive back coach going into year one. Really excited for him and the Rutherford Rams. Javian, tell us how you ended up signing with the Bucs after the NFL draft about a month afterwards, right?
Yeah, man. I was actually here in Panama City working out because I had just got I had a rookie minicamp trial with the Pittsburgh Steelers for a weekend after the draft, and it didn't work out. I didn't know if I would ever play football again. Honestly, I had to take a long flight back to Panama City, and I was working out at this place called Renegade or Fusion. And it was one of the best places that Panama City had, sport-wise. But I was just there training by myself, and I got a phone call from the Bucks. They wanted me to come work out. I had to literally stop everything that I was doing because there was no flights available. You know, Panama City Airport doesn't have like the best flights in some scenarios, so I had to drive. I had to stop everything that I was doing, and I had to drive because the workout was the next morning at 7 a.m. or something like that. So took that trip, went down to Tampa, had the workout. It was a competition between me and probably like, let's just say 5 other DBs, and they were only going to bring in one guy for the spot. So we had our workout, and they called us in after the workout one by one, giving us a breakdown of how they felt about us. And they told me that they liked me and I did some good things, but they didn't choose me. They were just like, hey, we're going to go with this other guy because he has more college experience playing football. And, you know, I was a walk-on. I only played 6 games in college. So anybody that has a normal college career, you're going to play for a minimum of 3 years.
Right.
So they just went off of that alone. And so here I am again, almost being depressed again like I was leaving Pittsburgh, driving back to Panama City. 45 minutes later, I get a phone call, and it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers saying, hey, this guy, he felt his physical, and we wanted to see if you wanted to come back and sign with us. So I'm like, heck yeah. I turn around, I'm on the interstate, and I get there, and I never looked back, man. 3 years later, I ended up playing there for 3 years.
So, JVN, what was your welcome to the NFL moment?
First preseason game, playing in Philadelphia. We were playing the Eagles, and I was playing a good game. I had a good game, man. I'm having a brain fart of who the quarterback was. Carson Wentz. I had a huge hit against him and made a couple more plays, and I ended up blitzing off the edge. And the lineman, like, I tried to do this little. I'm a nickel. I'm a nickel back, a slot cornerback, and so, you know, my welcome to the league moment was when I blitzed off the edge. I got past him, but he like pushed me in the back, and when he did that, I like fell into the ground and face first, and I ended up spraining my jaw, and that put me out for the rest of the game. So that was my welcome to the league moment, man. Trying to do things that worked in college versus the NFL left tackle. So,
I mean,
that was my welcome.
It is wild how, you know, we always hear that all the speed, you know, in the SEC or the speed at Division I football is nothing compared to the NFL, right? And then, you know, it's kind of hard to understand that unless you've been on both of those fields, Division I, really just college football in general. They jump from intensity. Yeah, exactly. So, man, that's definitely welcome to the NFL. How much did it catch you off guard by the difference in the speed from college football to the NFL?
It caught me. What can I say? Florida State really prepared us for the level of intensity and detail. Florida State was ran like an NFL program, but it was on the field where, you know, you're going against the best of the best from every college, so everybody is like the same speed until you get more reps, watch more film, and then you start to be able to recognize, like, okay, this is a really fast receiver and this is a slower receiver. But once you go in there on day one, like, everybody's fast. You can't tell the difference between an average speed receiver and a blazing speed receiver like Deshaun Jackson initially. And it did throw me for a loop, but at the end of the day, it's about how well can you adjust and adapt in certain scenarios, because I'm an undrafted free agent. The team doesn't care if the game is too fast for me. They want to pick the guys that can show up in the moment with the opportunities that they get, because as an undrafted free agent, you're not going to get many opportunities anyway. So whenever you get those 3 reps in practice, you got to be able to make something of it where the coach can know who you are. You know, especially with the way that I signed with Tampa, I signed late in OTAs with a couple practices left. Like, I need the coach to know my name today. So I did have to do some adjusting to it, but overall, man, I was able to make it happen.
Another thing that we're not privy to, or just, without the experience, you don't know how it goes. How big of a difference is when you sign with one team and then, your time goes on there and then they let you go and then you sign with another team? Like, what was the differences, organizationally speaking, between the Bucs and the Panthers? And did you have an organization that you enjoyed more?
Yeah. Well, I would say going to Carolina, there was definitely a big difference in terms of the confidence that the players and the staff had. I'm not saying that Tampa players and staff wasn't confident. It's more like Carolina just came off of an NFC. They went to the playoffs the year before. And so, like, their mentality was like, hey, we went to the Super Bowl a few years ago. We've been in the playoffs. So, our standard is NFC Championship, Super Bowl. Even though it didn't happen like that, it's just the way. It's just something about when you go to an organization that's been there and done that. Unfortunately, I went there when everything pretty much blew up with Ron Rivera. But I will say that it is a great organization. They gave me an opportunity. Ron Rivera is a great coach. I got a chance to play with Cam Newton, Luke Kuechly, Greg Olsen, like some Hall of Famers, So, so just like in Tampa, Mike Evans, Levante David, and some more players. Tampa feels more like home because I was there 3 years.
Right.
I like Tampa. Man, I don't know. They're both great. They're both great, honestly, as far as my experience. Carolina, it just got ugly towards the end of the year with coaches having to be fired and stuff. So I don't really have an answer of which one was better, but I'm just saying the pros and cons of both.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. I figured the way that I worded that would make it, I don't want you to have to pick favorites or anything like that. But I will say it's interesting. In Week 6, I believe, when you were with the Panthers, you got to play against your former organization in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What was that like, and was there something special, something big that happened in that game?
Yeah, and it goes back to when I played with Tampa before I signed to Carolina the year before, where I got my first interception going against Carolina, playing against Cam Newton and DJ Moore and some other guys. Got my first interception that game, and the next year I ended up signing with Carolina. And mentioning the game that you just brought up, we had played in London, and I got my interception against the Bucs. So everything just happened full circle, everything was full circle.
How big of a distraction is it when you're playing those overseas games? Or is it a distraction at all?
It's what you make it. We went out there for a whole week. We were in London, got a chance to explore. It rained a lot, so we didn't really get to do much, but it was great, man, being able to sightsee, and it's really what you make it, honestly. It's what you make it, just being able to venture off and have your own free time, because just being like just realistically, we still had our schedule of meeting all day and then had to practice, but you just had a little bit more free time. So it can be a distraction, though.
All right, let's see. You played for two different teams in the Canadian Football League. What's the craziest rule that you had to get used to in the Canadian Football League?
Oh, man. Well, one, you got to get used to the waggle. The guys running pre-snap at you, playing defensive back, like you're not at an advantage with a guy running 10 yards ahead of the line of scrimmage. You have to play press man versus that. But, again, having to adjust and adapt, being able to rise to whatever standard circumstances you're in. They have this other rule where literally, man, there's so many rules, but they have this other rule where you can be running the ball at any given time and just kick the ball towards the end zone to try to score. It's called the rules or something like that, where they can kick the ball out of bounds on a field goal and still get a point. Man, there's so many Oh man, I could go on and on about the
What's the one, Javian, that's like an onside kick? I saw someone, the quarterback throws it over to the wide receiver, and he just kind of like punts it a little bit and then jumps on top of it, and I guess they retained possession. It was like,
down.
Yeah, they got a first down. I don't know how.
Yeah, it's like a loophole, man. It's a loophole rule where it could be 3rd and 20, right? Imagine it's 3rd and 20. You tell your defense, hey, everybody back up because they're not going to get a first down. He throws the ball to a running back or wide receiver at the line of scrimmage. And this guy just does a little pooch kick for 2 yards. As long as that ball crosses the line of scrimmage, he can fall on it, and it's a first down again. So you just had a 3rd and 20 kick. You just literally just tapped it. Not even pooch kick, just tapped it. 1 yard, fall on it, and you have a first down now.
That's
like
the
that
most
is
backyard
insane.
football rule ever.
Man, the Eagles would never give the ball up. With the offensive and defensive line, we'd have the ball all the time.
Right, right. And the NFL, the NFL is trying to get rid of the tush push, man. They definitely couldn't do anything like that.
Yeah, right. Javian, what role has faith played in your journey?
Man, it's played the most important role in my life. Honestly, just being able to, the whole time I'm telling these stories of, me facing adversity and still being able to be blessed to play in the NFL, blessed to earn my scholarship, blessed to go and do all these different things. I'm a faith-based person, and that is God making a way, even when there is no way in my situations, and even taking me down paths that don't make sense. I never imagined myself going to play in Canada, and it was a humbling experience, but at the same time, it taught me so much to just trust God's plan. I never imagined myself moving back to Panama City to coach at Rutherford, but I feel like God placed that spark, that passion to go and be a leader in this community and help these kids. So faith plays a huge role in my life, and that's the number one thing in my life for sure.
So throughout all of your football career, going back to Pee Wee football, who was your favorite teammate?
Oh man, favorite teammate going all the way back. I can't do that because I have so many guys that are just genuine good guys, and you build those relationships from when you're playing at Springfield, playing for the Panthers, playing for the Callaway Rebels, playing for going to Rutherford and playing there. It's just like, oh man, it's I can't really limit. I can't really. I will say I keep in touch with most of the guys from Florida State though. Those are the guys that I still keep in touch with. People are on every level. But Florida State, I'm closer to those guys.
Do they bounce back this year? The Noles.
I would absolutely love for them to bounce back because, Gus Malzahn's there. The offense is going to be probably better than last year. I'm not sure. Quarterback situation, we'll see how that pans out because that's what it's going to fall on. And that's what it fell on last year. Like, can our quarterback show up? And so I'm curious, man. I'm a fan. I'm a Noah for life. So I'm gonna be there. I'm hoping for the best, man. New defensive coordinator, new defensive staff. So there's definitely signs of life.
I can't wait for the Rams to pack out Friday Night Lights coming up this fall.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Oh yeah. We just had our spring game against Franklin County, so that kind of set the tone and set the standard for how we want to be this season.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see how. I'm not joking or making a light statement when I say they were the most fun team to watch because you just never knew what you were going to get, and they were very young and they're just going to grow, and even more so on the defensive side of the ball. Hey, Javian, we've got to take a break. Thanks so much for your time, man. It was a lot of fun to have you on and learn more about you.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. Anytime, I'd love to be back on anytime.
Yes, sir. We will make that happen, and congratulations, and thank you from the bottom of our hearts here at ESPN Northwest Florida for doing what you're doing as in the community for the Bay County athletes and beyond as well.
Yes, sir. No problem, man. I appreciate it.
That's Javian Elliott, ladies and gentlemen. They have a camp. Javian Elliott and Coach Boris Jackson is going to be at Tommy Oliver this coming Saturday. It is free. Registration is at 8 a.m. Now, they're kind of full to this point, but as long as 250 kids don't show up, then you should be fine. But just show up. Tommy Oliver, 8 a.m. Skills competition and the skills stuff starts at 9 a.m. And then also, if you would like to get some training sessions, some performance training sessions with Javian Elliott, you can just go to javianelliott.com. If you're wondering how to spell Javian, it's quite easy. Javien, and then Elliott, just like Ezekiel Elliott there. And go sign up, man. The first session is free, as he mentioned. You just got to get signed up, and then they'll come up with a plan for you. Great young man. I mean, we're about the same age, so we're both great young men. But no, that was a lot of fun talking with him, and I didn't know that game was over there in London. So how cool was that, being able to ask that perspective, and then just all of this stuff. And then one thing that stood out to me more than anything else that he said was how great Renegade was. Let's bring back Renegade. Somebody make that happen. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. This is ESPN Northwest Florida. We're going to be making some movie, genre, college football, and all sport picks when we get back.
Come on vacation.
Summer vacation. Hey, how's your vacation going?
Leave on probation.
Sheriff's deputies in Panama City Beach arresting 161 people during an out-of-control spring break weekend.
Welcome to the Emerald Coast. Have a great time at the beautiful beaches, but not like end up in the back of a police cruiser great. A friendly reminder from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Tuesday. For tonight, very light rain and mostly clear skies, and a low of 75 with a gentle breeze out of the east at 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow morning, very light rain and mostly sunshine with temps around 83. In the afternoon and evening, a likelihood of thunderstorms and light rain and a temperature near 84. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Take your next adventure in an award-winning Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Discover the new Kia. We invite you to stop by Bill Bird Kia and test drive the new 2025 Kia. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. The 2025 Kia SUV family has movement that inspires. Drive away today in a new 2025 Kia Soul, Seltos, Sportage, Sorento, or Telluride. Fuel the thrill and command the road in the luxury of a 2025 Kia K5 sedan from Bill Bird Kia. Performance, power, and design built for you. Spark inspiration in the all-electric 2025 EV9. It's a modern masterpiece, fast charging, rugged, and roomy. Bill Bird Kia is the original home for the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust. Your local community dealer is Bill Bird Kia.
Now, we're live and local inside the CBC Construction Studios. ESPN Northwest Florida. The tradition continues.
It is a walk-off home run for Sean Murphy into the Braves bullpen.
Now back to the Afternoon Underdog.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Yeah, we're just in here drinking grapefruit soda with our fingers up in here. The little squirt product of, or courtesy of Buffalo Rock. Thankful for that.
Good.
Dude, it's real
I was
good.
surprised.
That's like first time, really?
Yeah, I mean, it's not something I would have gotten.
Wow, no, yeah, I've had that before. It's good. You know what?
I've been drinking it like it's Mountain Dew or something.
There's
It's
this
no
drink
caffeine.
that you can buy at the grocery. Well, I don't know if you can still get it at the grocery store. It's called Five Alive. It's like in the frozen, like concentrate juice section, and it's got like it's orange juice, but it's also like grapefruit juice and like lime juice and like lemon juice and something else all mixed together.
Oh, the citrus.
It's actually pretty banging. It's pretty good, man.
Citrus abound. Our previous guest was Javian Elliott. He is the defensive backs coach at Rutherford, or for the Rutherford Rams. Really great interview right there. Lots of fun. He played for the Bucks and Panthers in the NFL, played in the Canadian Football League. And isn't that wild, though? Someone who plays that profession is like, yeah, dude, like, it's crazy. It's kind of hard to get used to that.
Not only that, you play regular football your whole life, and then like now as an adult, you're having to learn all these rules. Like, it'd be like us just sitting there watching. It's kind of the same idea. Like,
right.
He's
probably got some really good takes on the flag football thing for the Olympics. Whether or not that would play out as well.
Good point. Rick?
Great interview. I was just saying it's like awesome to hear that the Eagles welcomed him to the league.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, and he welcomed. At first, I was like, oh, he's gonna have a different type of welcome to the NFL over. It's like, yeah, yo, welcome to me. Welcome to Javion Elliott.
You thought about it.
Really excited for him though, and the Rams, and really cool to hear his story right here on the Afternoon Underdogs on ESPN Northwest Florida. We're live and local from the CBC Construction Studios. You can give them a call at 850-747-3815 or visit their website, cbcconstruction.com.
I didn't realize they were doing the construction in downtown Panama City.
Well, there you go. That's
when
why.
you drive by and look through Harrison, it's a CBC Construction.
And little do you know that, but every building down there is just going to have a neon 104.3. This is brought to you by
hardwiring it into the studio. That's the only station they can play.
You can't take it out. Yeah, you got the 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida neon sign, and then when you go outside, it's not your shopping music. You got us in there.
It's in the trees.
Buy it right now. All right, let's see what direction we're going to go. We're going to tell you about Hiller Plumbing. Our confident service technicians will provide you with a solution for any home plumbing, heating, or cooling problem. Let us show you how we can make you a happy Hiller customer. Contact your trusted licensed technician in Panama City today at 850-290-4341 or go to happyhiller.com. All right, fun little exercise for us this afternoon. Probably will end up taking to the end of the show, knowing us and how we parade about these particular segments. And if I can ever find it, I'll tell you guys what it is called. And it is If Each Team Were a Movie Genre. Easy enough to remember. I did not. But what we're going to do, me and Tyler are going to do college football teams only. My list is empty, so everything is coming off the cuff, off the hip here. Chef Ross and Caveman Rick are going to do any other sport. NFL, NBA, MLB, doesn't matter. Just not college football. If you do college football, then you did it, and that's okay anyway.
I've got one.
All right, that's fine.
But they're not current.
All right. Let's start off with our comedy genre. Who is your comedic genre? We'll go you, Caveman, and then Tyler.
Give me the Cleveland Browns.
Wow.
Very comedic.
Pretty easy right there. Yeah, that is fair enough. Caveman Rick?
I don't know if the NFL, Dallas Cowboys.
All right, Kyle. Dallas Cowboys that's pretty comedic as it gets here. I'm having to pull up the standings on college football to see who looks funny to me, even though I'll probably need to go a little lower than just the top 25. What about you, Tyler? Who's comedy?
I went a little different direction. So, like, comedy movies, right? You don't have to sit there and watch them heavily invested, right? Like, you can throw them on in the background, laugh at a few jokes.
Right.
Like, they're kind of... So I got Army, Navy. Like, they're teams you like to have on. You're not fully invested, like, in who's the quarterback, who's the running back, right? Like, you just have them on to enjoy the game. You're not really, being serious about it.
And you can't cheer against them.
Yeah, so you're just there to enjoy the good time, watching the game. Like, either one, when you're watching, you're rooting for America. Like, I took it, y'all made the joke on it. That's fine. Like, I was trying to think of a team I wanted to put there. Who did I want to insult today? But I tried to go different vibe with, like, just a good, fun, something you can have in the background, but you're not, like, emotionally invested in.
That's a good one. I'll do the opposite of you, and I will hit where it hurts. But it's not to a team that I think we're even going to have fans of in this area. But Kent State last year went without winning a game, went 0-12. I believe that they were the first time in a long time with an 0-12 season. So I'm going to go with Kent State. I mean, if you go 0-12, I feel like you're a
you open
comedy.
yourself up to be
Yes, you are a comedy at that point. So they're the first winless team in a full season since 2019. So I guess it wasn't that long, but that's still 5 years.
I'm surprised it's been that long. I was like, I just assumed there'd been other 0-12 teams.
Let's go to a good old rom-com, one of Jay Henley's favorites. Chef Ross started off with the rom-com.
Kansas City Chiefs. You got the whole Patrick and Travis rom-com. You got the old Taylor Swift.
Okay, that's fair. All right. When you said that, I was kind of confused. Yeah, I like it.
The Patrick and Travis is
the on the field.
Hey, but it's that time of the year, right? Caveman Rick, what do you got for
I'm still thinking. Give me a minute on it.
All right, Tyler.
All right, again.
I actually have mine ready for this.
I got a whole different vibe from that one. Penn State.
All right,
because rom-coms, you know exactly how, like, it's like a Hallmark movie, right? Like, you know exactly what's going to happen every minute of that movie, how it's going to end. Just like Penn State season, you know exactly who they're going to beat, you know exactly who they're going to lose to, and you know they ain't going to beat anybody worth a darn. So it's just predictable, like Penn State.
Well, I'll go to the more literal side of it with this one, and I'm going to go to a little chapel in Chapel Hill with Bill Belichick and Jordan Hudson. Is there a better romantic comedy out there right now than a 70-something-year-old man and a 20-something-year-old girl just going into coaching collegiate football for the first time in his entire career? Is that not comedic enough?
That's a Hallmark movie waiting to happen right there, baby. Let's go.
It's some sort of movie waiting to happen.
Give me North Carolina. All right, we'll move on here to the Oh, wait, Caveman Rick, we're back to you with the rom-com.
I'm still having trouble coming up with something.
It's your favorite genre.
No.
Jay Henley, we need you, buddy.
Not by a long shot. I'm trying to think of somebody somebody we'd love to laugh at. That's the reason I was kind of going.
Who is somebody we love to laugh at? I think you would have to I think that you could end up using the Dallas Cowboys for every
a lot of
single
them. I could use
one
it
of
for a lot of
these.
them. Well, there's a few you probably can't use. But
Let's see. Who is a team? I mean, I think we could put our heads together in the NFL realm of this. Who's a team that we love to laugh at?
The Jets.
Yeah, I think the Jets. I think the Jets are a fair answer.
The Rockies.
That might
love
work.
to laugh at them now.
That's who you went with, right?
No, I went with them for a different
different genre. Well, our next genre is going to be a Hollywood blockbuster, which could be tough with college football. But let's start with you, Chef Ross. What do you got for the Hollywood blockbuster?
The Los Angeles Dodgers. Even in Hollywood.
Yeah.
There you go. That works out perfectly for you. Caveman, do you have this one?
I mean, that's the easy one. I mean, Philadelphia Eagles right off the cuff. I mean, we just won, so you got to give them that, you know. Let's see. Outside of that, I mean, no, not really.
All right. Tyler.
If Saban was still in Bama, I would say Bama.
Okay.
I put Ohio State. They just won it all. Consistently a very good team. Maybe that's schedule, maybe that's whatever, but always a team that's in contention. So when you think Big Lights, like they're a team that's always kind of there. So
that's actually where I was going to go at first, but then I got to thinking about it. With Hollywood, right there.
We won't go there.
I agree with you. Hollywood blockbuster. Hasn't it felt like lately all the Hollywood blockbusters, if they are good for a little while, the ending of it is trash, and so it flops, right? How about the Oregon Ducks?
Ooh, I like that one. I thought about putting Oregon as mine too.
They were undefeated and had this, great regular season, and then just, wasn't able to get it done against. It was Ohio State that they got walloped by pretty good. Yeah,
smacked by Ohio
What
State.
about last year? You could say Indiana.
Would that be a blockbuster, though?
Well, it's because
you're talking about the ending?
Well, no, just how one of those stories is like one of those feel-good stories. A team that comes from nowhere to
that'd be more
get
of a
close to winning the championship.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, kind of thing.
Yeah, I agree that it would be more of a rom-com story. And the thing with Oregon, though, is they really going into the season, because it was going to be first year in the Big Ten, I don't think that they were expected to have the level of success that they did undefeated wise. I felt like most people were going to take Ohio State and put them up against Oregon, and that was going to be what answers the questions. But I see where you're coming from, though. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a feel-good story, where you take the underdogs and they do great things.
Yeah. Which is what we do Monday through Friday right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. All right, let's do crime, and then we'll take a break. Chef Ross.
I went with the U from Catholics versus Convicts in the 80s.
I mean, that's fair.
Tyler, who you got here? Is this where you pull your homer out?
No.
I was going to, but they haven't been arrested in a couple of months.
Yeah, we were on a dry spell, right? I went with Texas because it's a crime they haven't been more successful in football.
Ooh.
With all their resources, all that in-state talent, all that, and they've won, one title in the last 50-something years?
You doing the whole state of Texas?
University. Well, I mean, it could be the whole state of Texas, we've been honest, but mostly horns down just because, they think they got something going on in the SEC. We got to knock them down a peg just to...
Caveman?
Let's see. You can go a couple different ways. You can go Browns. Deshaun.
It should be criminal to watch those, Ohio.
You can go Chiefs-aholic, you know, and like some of their players that they've had recently getting in trouble with the law. So, yeah, either one of those two for crime.
All right, let's see.
Oh, you can go Justin Tucker, maybe, allegedly.
Yeah, you could do that. You could go
Ravens.
You know, if you wanted to do a crime documentary, you could go Baylor, you can go Georgia, you can go Alabama, you can go Free Shoes University.
Baylor works because you not only have the football thing.
Yeah, you just got the whole entire university. But I guess if we're keeping it on the field, how about, you know, you use Texas saying that it's a crime that they definitely.
Right.
You know, go Sandusky and the Penn State Nittany Lions. But you use Texas at being a crime that they haven't done more, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'll go Arizona State because I think we could all make the argument that maybe what was it, the late pass interference call, right?
Michigan.
For stealing signs.
There you go.
There you go.
That's not a crime.
And I don't know if they vacated.
I mean, they've suffered a whole bunch of suspensions, and we
Sharon
really
Moore suspended. You know,
that one's more wild to me than anything else. All right, let's take a quick timeout. We've only got 12 minutes, and that is before we take our 2-minute break. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. This is ESPN Northwest Florida.
Your attention, please. ESPN Northwest Florida reminds you it's the law. It's the law. When there's a double red flag, stay out of the water, stick your toes in the sand, grab a cold drink, and listen to live sports.
Swung on, miss, strike 3.
On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Double play!
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Dothan and Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
Experience a higher level of service. David Adamson Designer Jewelry has been providing you the very best of fine jewelry and repair in Lynn Haven for over 32 years. David has added Amber Anderson and Russ Clare, names you've known and trusted in PCB for years with your fine jewelry and watch needs. Find that one-of-a-kind engagement ring, that special anniversary gift, or something colorful just for you. Amber and Russ will find it or build it for you. Serving Bay County and beyond in Lynn Haven at the corner of Ohio Avenue and 9th. David Adamson Designer Jewelry.
It's been an up and down start for the 2025 Atlanta Braves, which means every win counts more than ever.
1-2, he hits one well. Deep left field. Gonna head back to the wall. Boom! A 2-run home run!
Tonight, the Braves homestand rolls on as Austin Riley leads Atlanta into a huge NL battle with the Arizona Diamondbacks at Truist Park.
Pre-game show 6 o'clock, first pitch 6:15. Your home for the Braves on the Gulf Coast, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Transmitting from the CBC Construction Studio. This is where heroes are created, legends are born, and dynasties forged. The Sports Talk Master, ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Afternoon Underdogs.
Welcome back into the Doghouse, built up by CBC Construction. You're listening to the Afternoon Underdogs. This is 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Atlanta Braves baseball right here on ESPN Northwest Florida tonight. Coverage starting at 6 for a 6:15 first pitch. Braves baseball sponsored locally by Bill Burr Kia, PCB Hobby, Panama City Toyota, Hewitt Tire and Auto, and Hometown Towing. Also by Best Way Portable Buildings, Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, Mid-South Lumber, and Brock Pest Control. I'm David Hayes, along with Tyler Bishop, Chef Ross, and Caveman Rick. We hope that you're doing well today. Caveman Rick came in begging, like, guys, can we stop talking about that? Because I would rather talk about something that wears Cully green. I just love talking about the Philadelphia Eagles. No, but Saquon Barkley ends up getting the Madden 26 cover. I will say that it's the coolest cover that I've ever seen because it is the play that they had against the Jaguars where he had the little backwards hurdle one of the coolest plays I've ever seen watching live football. And that's, I'm not saying I've watched more than anyone or anything like that, not by any stretch of the imagination, just saying one of the coolest plays that I've seen. So good that it takes a legendary place like Pat and Gino's and turns it into Steaquan's, right? I mean, that's...
It's not Pat's and Gino's.
It's not. That's
rival two gangs. Separate places.
Okay,
They're one across the street from one another.
So it's Gino's. So it's Gino's at Steaquan, and then Pat's is like, no,
separate.
we're just gonna stay. We're just gonna stay Pat's and not try to.
Yeah, because you never cross that street from one line to the other line. Bad things happen.
Bad things happen?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That means you're either a Pat's person or a Gino's person. You don't jump from one to the other.
I'm going to do that. And
what if I've never tried either? What if
yeah, you got to try them both.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, and I'm walking there with hey, I got my Steaquan's. Is y'all's better? Nah. Anyways, so you got... what Gino's is all decked out in Saquon Barkley stuff, EA Sports, all that kind of good stuff. All right, I'm sure that you're going to dive into the curse or whatever, and I've got some numbers over here backing that up. But my first thing is, what is the most memorable Madden cover to you? Or is this it?
It'd either be this one or the year after John died and they put John
Madden on the cover.
Yeah, that's
2023. Because I was looking at the Madden curse and it said, 2023 John Madden, not available. Not cursed or not cursed.
I thought it was cool the year after the Steelers Cardinals Super Bowl where it was Larry Fitzgerald. It wasn't iconic, but it was just cool because it was different at that time.
And that was the only split cursed where one player was cursed and the other wasn't cursed, which would not automatically go to show you all right, maybe there's not necessarily a
That's the one thing I'm
this.
concerned about is the curse. But I think it's the dopest cover. I think it's a good tribute. I think it's great that we're wearing the Kelly green.
Yeah.
Iconic. It's like I said, when you see that highlight now for the next 30 years, it's going to look good.
So CBSSports.com put out an article where they went through each and every cover and cursed, not cursed, and I could take the time and read through all of that, but we would still be here till 6 or longer than that.
Something earlier this week about the last 3 running backs, and they really have been cursed.
Well, what you got? CMC
injured and out. Before that was...
Saquon was included in this.
Peyton Hillis, I believe.
Peyton Hillis was one, but the one before
he got cut.
The one before that was or after Peyton Hillis was
Adrian. No, Adrian
was
never.
Adrian?
No, Adrian was never on the board. I don't think he was ever, but if he was, it was the year that he got suspended for spanking his child.
It was Adrian, 2014. It was Adrian Peterson in 2014. But by the numbers, anyways, it looks like this. 14 of the 24 cover athletes from 58% have been cursed. That's from 2001 to 2024. 3 of the 10 cover athletes, or 30% from the last 10 years, have been cursed, 2015 to 2025. So in the earlier years, or overall 58%, but in the last 10 cover athletes, it's just been 30%. So, and there haven't been back-to-back curses since 2011, 2012. So I will say Saquon is A-OK. I don't think he's going to be hit with the curse this year. And Christian McCaffrey was getting up there in age. We were kind of be expecting,
That's not looking good for you, Dave.
I mean, they've got till Thursday. Pacers plane has been... diverted, I think, to Oklahoma or Tulsa, yeah. So they'll be fine though. Looks like everything is good. Right, State Chris, you're right in with the Afternoon Underdogs. What do you got for us today, my friend?
Hey, so thinking about Saquon's jump over the dude, I was thinking, and I realize this could be another call-in question, but what is your favorite player's most iconic play? And I'm just going to go real quick. Barry Sanders juking the Patriots dude 3 times in one run. Is my favorite player's most iconic play.
I like it. Mine's pretty easy. That would be Derrick Henry. What was it, Monday? It was either Monday Night Football or Thursday Night Football against the Jaguars, 99-yard touchdown run. Stiff arms galore.
Barry Sanders has 9 of the best negative 2-yard rushes I've ever seen in my life.
How about that one from, who was it? Was it Marion Barber for the Dallas Cowboys? And and he ran all the way to the end zone, starting running towards the left of the line, then goes all the way back into the end zone, ends up on the right side of the line for a 2-yard gain right there. Sheriff Frost's favorite player. Brett Favre. First pass that he ever completed. There you go.
I was thinking more about the Beast Mode game.
Marshawn Lynch.
Yep.
Yeah, no doubt.
Or even
Beast
got
week.
Brett Favre after his dad died. That was very.
That was what, Monday Night Football?
Monday Night Football, yeah.
Football.
Antonio Freeman having a huge game
was
in that
another
one.
Monday night game. That was a different game.
Oh, different game. Okay, man, you got one that stands out to you?
Not favorite player necessarily, but I still always like watching Sheldon Brown, Slobberknock, Reggie Bush.
There you go. Another honorable mention, because Vinny LeCavier was my favorite hockey player. His fight in the Stanley Cup Finals against the Calgary Flames against Jerome McGinley.
Nice. You made me think of another one. I think in the game, Sean Taylor intercepted Brett Favre like 3 different times, and each time it was like Brett Favre was like, "Where the hell did he come from?" Because I think he baited him on like 2 or 3 of them. But yeah, it was a tiny career for poor Sean Taylor.
I got another one for you.
Matt Hasselbeck winning on the coin toss in overtime.
Yeah.
We want the ball, we're going to win, and he throws a pick 6 right away.
He throws pick 6 right away, yep.
I'll treat the Wright State Raiders like my favorite player, and the way that they just did Vanderbilt, and really should have beat them in both games, but didn't work out like that. But they did put the final stamp on Vanderbilt's tournament appearance, man. How excited were you about that? Were you more excited about that or being in Tallahassee to watch Coach Justin?
On Friday night, it was seeing them. I got to see his family and everything, and that was cool. His mom and dad were there, and I hadn't seen them for a couple of years. But definitely on Sunday, it was Wright State winning over any of the other shenanigans that was going on. It's because it was Sunday morning. Yeah, so I was definitely like on my way back from Tallahassee and driving, but having them win was awesome. Finally being an SEC school, a big conference school in a big game, and not only the big conference school, but like the number 1 overall seed. We can argue whether they deserved it or not, but winning the SEC tournament gives you a lot of clout, you know. So,
absolutely.
But the way they won, and they just threw a punch in the first inning, and the way that Nashville just shut the hell up after it was 4-0 Wright State, that was awesome. That's what I'll remember the most, is how quiet Nashville was throughout that game. So that was really cool.
Oh, that Whistler guy wasn't whistling.
Oh man! All right.
What about you, Tyler? Who you got?
Probably most people won't know it, but AJ Green had a catch against Colorado his sophomore, junior year.
It must have been pre-Deion Sanders days.
Yeah,
that wouldn't have happened.
But
he's him down.
He jumps up. He's like 5 feet off the ground, catches it one-handed as he's falling to his back. It's one of those catches like you just watch like. Man, it was just I think we ended up losing the game, so it didn't really matter. But
wait, what?
I think so.
Georgia?
That may have been 2010.
Mark Richt wasn't necessarily always winning every game.
I think we made it the 2010 year. We went like 6-6 and then lost to UCF in the Liberty Bowl. Yeah. But it was just, it's one of the most like spectacular catches I've ever seen, like in real time.
At least you lost to eventual national champion UCF.
But he had a few plays like that. He had a high school catch that was also pretty insane. He's like twisting. AJ Green just had insane ball skills and body control, and one of my all-time favorite dogs.
It looks like y'all won though. Y'all are 1-0 against them. Wait, hold on. This is saying y'all lost 29-27.
Yeah, we beat them in Athens. I think we lost in Boulder.
My goodness, that is Oh, you're 1-1 against them. I see. All right, yeah. That is wild. Hey, Wright State Chris, we got to go. Thanks so much for the call, bud.
Yeah, man. Y'all have a great evening.
Hey, Wright State Raiders on to next year, but hey, they had a great run this year, and we've got more on the college baseball tournament and more on the college softball tournament when we get back, which will be tomorrow. So y'all enjoy the rest of your evening. For Caveman Rick, Chef Ross, Tyler Bishop, I'm David Hayes. We're the Afternoon Underdogs. Jesus loves you, so do I. Be safe out there. Your Atlanta Braves coming up next.
Celebrating 2 years of broadcasting history.
Told you this would work.
It's the Best of Bay awarded Inside Drive on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Weekdays 11 to 1 with Ryan Mulvey.
I love it.
Covering the biggest stories